So I recently got called a fraud for, I guess, hiding the black crush on the Samsung Q8FN versus the LG C10. So I wanted to go ahead and rectify that by admitting, yes, I am a fraud 100%. Because you see, on the Samsung Q8FN, I was actually lowering the peak brightness so that the LG could compete and not look so dark and so fucking ugly. So that was my fault. I apologize to all my Samsung Q8FN owners out there, and now let's actually show you the real comparison. Since LG fanboys don't know when to shut the fuck up, we're gonna slap them to the floor where they belong. Because I'll be damned if somebody's gonna call me out of my name and call me a fraud and a liar, I don't care who they are, when I did them a favor. Me showing you scenes like this will prove my point. And for anybody saying I'm not in HDR, here's my Blu-ray player. I'm in HDR. Let's get the metadata up. You can see all of the tasty HDR information on both displays that you like to see. It's coming from the Blu-ray player, and we know LG fanboys are crybabies, so we have to open up the picture mode because Lord knows you're doctoring stuff again. And we have to open up cinema modes. We have to zoom in for them. Notice all the hand-holding an LG owner needs, right? We have to prove that we're in cinema home. We're not using filmmaker mode because apparently now that's unfair. We also have to go into the settings. We have to make sure we go all the way to the bottom and ensure that we reset it because we truly can't be trusted. Okay, so now that we did that, you know there's no black crush tricks happening, and you know that we're in cinema mode home for the HDR usage. Okay, now that you know all that, there you go. Your LG C10 that you're so proud of. Now look at my Samsung Q8FN. I'm sorry, which one has more fucking black crush? Don't play with me. I mean, really. Artings tried to claim the same exact thing and I proved them wrong. What makes you think I won't prove you wrong? The reality is when you go up against the Samsung Q8FN, not only is there more detail, shadow-wise, but also clarity-wise, also color-wise, this is a better TV. And every time you prove these LG fans wrong, they resort to the most asinine whining I've ever seen. Now, take a look at this scene. This is the scene that the dude tried to use to claim that I'm a fraud. Well, look at it. There is not only more shadow detail on an LED, by the way, because it's not trying to crush down those black pixels like on OLED. I mean, you should never be trying to pick this fight with an LED TV, by the way, OLED owners. You will lose almost every day of the week. Shadow detail is almost always going to be better on an LED because they don't have perfect blacks, as you like to throw out. But that also serves as a double-edged sword for you because it comes right back down onto you. You don't have the ability to match up to an LED's shadow detail. I can't believe that this is the argument, but let's do it. Okay, so instead of getting closer, I'm going to zoom in here, okay? That's the shutter speed there. Let's put it back there. And let's zoom in here. Okay, so here's the Q8FN. Here's the LG C10. The Q8FN, you can see all the trees, all the detail in the city. You can make out almost every little thing down there. We go over to the C10, that information is a little bit more crushed. You can see it, it is clear, but it is nowhere near as clear as on this TV right here. I really get tired of these claims that I'm a fraud because their LG OLEDs lose and they don't know how to handle the result of just losing fair and square. So we have to make long drawn out comparison after comparison to really shut them down, or they take to forums and they really feel like because I didn't respond that their claims now hold some weight or validity, that I'm somehow trying to manufacture results that aren't there. And for years I've let these kind of claims go for all the guys saying haters gonna hate. Don't let them make your content for you. You have to. You absolutely have to address damaging claims like this because when they try to tell you that you're doctoring footage, it destroys your credibility as a content creator. And the reality is I don't ever doctor footage. The Samsung Q8FN has more shadow detail than the LG OLED C10. Not only because it's an LED display, but because the algorithms work properly. And when you actually dial in your display, it looks better. Now, simply put, I can't account for the camera and show you everything I'm seeing on my end. I can't tell you that everything on my end is going to show up perfectly on everything on your end because this is a secondhand feed from a YouTube video. It is what it is. Now, also, we're in HDR right now. We're not in SDR, so it's going to look very different and you're not able to see, again, 100%, I have to say this a billion times just to make sure it's nailing it home, okay, of what I'm trying to show you. But what you can see is that when I raised the brightness, because apparently lowering it to give LG an advantage was a bad thing to do, when we do that, you can clearly see the differences, and I know you can. So for the bazillionth, gajillionth, infinitieth time, I don't doctor anything, and I swear to God, I feel so bad for the LG community right now. These LG OLED owners are so salty and so angry. They feel like I'm biased towards their product because I'm highlighting to consumers that didn't already make the mistake of buying it exactly how much of a mistake it really is, which goes against everything they read when researching this product, getting sold on it by an affiliate marketer, joke's on them, and then buying a TV that is inadequate. And now, because they have some fury in their heart, they feel like their thousands of dollars were spent well on an LG OLED, now they're mad. Now, they need to prove that they in fact knew what they were doing the whole time. It was I, in fact, that was confused. This is the kind of stuff that I can't stand. So, I hope by putting this out there, it makes it abundantly clear. I had the brightness lowered down to favor this hunk of garbage. And when you do that, it does darken the image. And again, the overall perception of the image does change when you lower the brightness. So again, now the camera is not able to accurately pick up all the details, which is, again, another reason why you want to lower down the brightness. It just appears like everything's blown out, everything's flat. Because when metering for two separate displays at two different luminosity levels, two different color sciences, it throws things off dramatically. That's why comparison videos are so difficult to make. So there's a whole little science behind it, but honestly, you're going to compromise something at the end of the day. So for the billionth time, I don't ever doctor anything. I'll zoom in for you. You don't have to zoom in for me. I'll show you all the detail on the C10. I'll show you all the detail on the Q8FN. I'll go a step further and I'll even walk up to both TVs and we'll do a little comparison, okay? Because I don't have anything to hide and I know it, okay? So the Q8FN detail, the OLED detail. And let's try to get both in the frame again. And let's walk up to that OLED and show OLED detail, right? OLED detail, getting as close as I can to show as much as I can off. Okay, Q8FN detail. Right, tell me where there's black crush and where I'm a fraud. So hopefully you guys see this for what it is and you know that every single time you make a video absolutely trashing LG for their flaws so that they improve and their fans kind of get their head on straight, you're going to be called out of your name. You're seeing it happen early on with me. You're seeing it happen with other people in forums. You're seeing it all over the internet. Simply put, anytime LG has anything to improve, they don't want to, and their fans will damage control it. So, this is what it is, but I'm not a fraud. It's just the way that things are right now. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.